Love Your Block is here in the city of Gary, Indiana.
The City of Gary's Love Your Block program is funded by grants to help improve neighborhoods.
Love Your Block is so important to Mayor Eddie D. Melton and city leadership. Why? Because it empowers residents to play an active role in shaping the future of their neighborhood.
Join us in our community conversations where you are invited to share your ideas on what you want to see in your neighborhood.
In year one, our 3 key neighborhoods are Midtown, Black Oak, and Glen Park, the University Park area.
Our aim is simple: to improve the quality of life for all of our residents for years to come. Not only that, but to create a sense of pride and attachment to where you live.
Be on the lookout for more information on how to get involved.
By establishing partnerships with local organizations, residents, businesses, churches, non-for-profits, we'll truly create a neighborhood where even you will love your block.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana, and I'm sending a special invitation now to each and every one of you to join me on March 6th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church in Gary, Indiana at 1600 West 25th Avenue. This is going to be a night where we're going to inform the public on our proposal between the city of Gary and the Hard Rock Casino for the Lake County Convention Center that's going to happen right here in this city. As state senator, I fought very hard to get Senate Bill 434 passed. And this Senate bill that passed almost 2 years ago will give us the opportunity to have this great economic engine right here in the city of Gary. This will yield multiple jobs, increase our tax base and opportunities to bring economic vitality in the city of Gary. Join us on March 6th. From 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church right here in the city of Gary. And I want to thank Pastor Jackson and the entire congregation of St. Timothy's Church for allowing us to be with you on that night. God bless.
Recycling at home is easy and helps keep our city clean and sustainable. But what can you actually recycle? Let's break it down. Paper and fiber. Yes, you can recycle. Newspapers, office paper, magazines, books, file folders, junk mail, glossy paper, and envelopes. Just toss them in. But remember, no shredded paper as it can't be sorted properly. Flatten those cardboard boxes and cereal boxes before recycling. But no greasy pizza boxes, those go in the trash. Aluminum cans, tin cans, and even pie tins can be recycled, but make sure they're clean. Give them a quick rinse to remove food residue before recycling. No aerosol cans, as they're considered hazardous. Glass bottles and jars. Yes, glass containers for food and drinks are recyclable, but wash them out first. Keep the lids on after rinsing, but no mirrors, window glass, or ceramics, as they don't break down the same way. Plastics. It depends. Plastic bottles, jugs, and containers? Yes. But plastic bags, takeout containers, and prescription bottles? Nope. Instead, take plastic bags to a grocery store drop-off, or better yet, bring your own reusable bags when you shop. We only accept plastic bottles and containers numbered 1 to 5 and 7. Check the recycling symbol before dropping them off. Milk cartons, juice boxes, and broth cartons are recyclable, but remember to remove the straws first and rinse them out before recycling. Important recycling reminders. Avoid contamination. All recycling materials must be properly cleaned. Even a small amount of food or drink residue can spoil an entire load. Keep the caps. Bottle caps can be left on glass and plastic containers. No grocery bags. Do not put recyclables in plastic grocery bags. They can't be processed properly. Beyond recycling, reduce and reuse. Recycling is great, but reducing and reusing make an even bigger impact. Choose eco-friendly products, carry a reusable water bottle, and swap plastic utensils for sustainable alternatives. Small changes lead to a cleaner, greener Gary. Your city, your future. Let's keep it clean.
Did you know the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Kim, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
Greetings. My name is Derek Cannon, and I'm Chief of Police for the City of Gary. I am before you today not only as a dedicated member of the community, but as a public servant to share with you the progress that we've made together in the last year, building towards a safer and more connected environment. While challenges remain, I am proud to report significant decreases in violent crime, to report a drop in non-fatal shootings of 10%, a drop in homicides of 23%, and not only with that drop, there's been a 74% clearance rate in those homicide investigations. Patrol activity has seen a remarkable growth. over 9,800 extra patrols and privilege checks were conducted, an increase of 118% from 2023. Shots fired calls dropped by 17%, with 1,368 reported versus 1,644 in the previous year. Citations issued more than doubled, reaching 9,679, a 148% increase over the previous year. This positive trend is a testament to the collaboration between our officers, our partners, and you, our community members, especially the residents who actively report suspicious activity and provide valuable information to our department. We've also made strides in enhancing transparency and accountability within the department. This includes our body-worn camera program, enhanced training, and just elevated patrols in a proactive way, which allows us a greater oversight and also a different type of engagement with the community. Furthermore, we actively engage with community leaders and organizations to better understand the concerns of our neighborhoods and our population here in the city of Gary. This has led to the development of partnerships with several community-based initiatives designed to address the specific needs and build stronger relationships between the law enforcement community and our community here at large. In terms of traffic safety, fatal traffic accidents fell by 39% with 11 incidents versus 18 incidents in the previous year, and non-fatal traffic accidents declined by 3% with 3,196 incidents versus 3,303 in 2023. Vehicles towed and impounded increased by 18%, with 3,081 vehicles towed compared to 2,608 in 2023. Special operations and investigations. The SWAT team conducted 55 operations leading to 72 detainees and the seizure of 37 firearms. General crimes resulted in 106 defendants charged with 506 felonies and 87 misdemeanor charges during their investigations. Narcotics Investigations Group led to 52 defendants charged with 112 felonies and 40 misdemeanor charges. We are committed to continuous improvement and remain open to feedback from all members of our community. I urge you to continue to partner with us by reporting crimes, attending community forums, and engaging in open dialogue. Together, we can create a safer, greater Gary with everyone.
This is our infant classroom, and you just can't go by without looking at the baby.
We're here to talk about something that truly shapes the future of our city, and that's early childhood education.
All the curriculum is active and excite children about problem solving and learning.
Today, what we were able to witness is the greatness of Gary and the greatness of Head Start coming together.
We know that the success of our children directly influences the success of our city.
In order to create big projects and deliver for Northwest Indiana, we have to have and must have an educational workforce to be able to fill those jobs.
We're laying a foundation for stronger families, a stronger economy, and a stronger Gary, Indiana for generations to come. This isn't just about education. It's about building a stronger community. When we invest in our children, we invest in our community.
Those students who have that early investment or intervention have a greater outcomes to be successful.
What's up, folks? This is Mayor Melton. We are in the streets. It's about 11:30. Wanted to show you phase one of what's taking place for our streetlight program. We like the city. So we've already started on Grant Street. Drive down Grant Street, you're going to see brand new LED lights that have been turned on all the way from Ridge Road all the way down to Fifth Avenue. Right now, part of phase one is also Broadway. We've been waiting on the new poles to come in. So some of the new poles are on its way. We have a lot of missing poles that people from car accidents have hit. But right now, the ones that are existing, we're changing the heads out. And what you're going to see is our contractor that's been working with us for the last close to a year. You're going to see him out today.
Love Your Block is here in the city of Gary, Indiana.
The City of Gary's Love Your Block program is funded by grants to help improve neighborhoods.
Love Your Block is so important to Mayor Eddie D. Melton and city leadership. Why? Because it empowers residents to play an active role in shaping the future of their neighborhood.
Join us in our community conversations where you are invited to share your ideas on what you want to see in your neighborhood.
In year one, our three key neighborhoods are Midtown, Black Oak, and Glen Park, the University Park area.
Our aim is simple: to improve the quality of life for all of our residents for years to come. Not only that, but to create a sense of pride and attachment to where you live.
Be on the lookout for more information on how to get involved.
By establishing partnerships with local organizations, residents, businesses, churches, non-for-profits, we'll truly create a neighborhood where even you will love your block.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana, and I'm sending a special invitation out to each and every one of you to join me on March 6th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church in Gary, Indiana, at 1600 West 25th Avenue. This is going to be a night where we're going to inform the public on our proposal between the city of Gary and the Hard Rock Casino for the Lake County Convention Center that's going to happen right here in this city. As state senator, I fought very hard to get Senate Bill 434 passed. And this Senate bill that passed almost 2 years ago will give us the opportunity to have this great economic engine right here in the city of Gary. This will yield multiple jobs, increase our tax base and opportunities to bring economic vitality in the city of Gary. Join us on March 6th. From 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church right here in the city of Gary. And I want to thank Pastor Jackson and the entire congregation of St. Timothy's Church for allowing us to be with you on that night. God bless.
Recycling at home is easy and helps keep our city clean and sustainable. But what can you actually recycle? Let's break it down. Paper and fiber. Yes, you can recycle. Newspapers, office paper, magazines, books, file folders, junk mail, glossy paper, and envelopes. Just toss them in. But remember, no shredded paper as it can't be sorted properly. Flatten those cardboard boxes and cereal boxes before recycling. But no greasy pizza boxes, those go in the trash. Aluminum cans, tin cans, and even pie tins can be recycled, but make sure they're clean. Give them a quick rinse to remove food residue before recycling. No aerosol cans, as they're considered hazardous. Glass bottles and jars. Yes, glass containers for food and drinks are recyclable, but wash them out first. Keep the lids on after rinsing, but no mirrors, window glass, or ceramics, as they don't break down the same way. Plastics. It depends. Plastic bottles, jugs, and containers? Yes. But plastic bags, takeout containers, and prescription bottles? Nope. Instead, take plastic bags to a grocery store drop-off, or better yet, bring your own reusable bags when you shop. We only accept plastic bottles and containers numbered 1 to 5 and 7. Check the recycling symbol before dropping them off. Milk cartons, juice boxes, and broth cartons are recyclable, but remember to remove the straws first and rinse them out before recycling. Important recycling reminders. Avoid contamination. All recycling materials must be properly cleaned. Even a small amount of food or drink residue can spoil an entire load. Keep the caps. Bottle caps can be left on glass and plastic containers. No grocery bags. Do not put recyclables in plastic grocery bags. They can't be processed properly. Beyond recycling, reduce and reuse. Recycling is great, but reducing and reusing make an even bigger impact. Choose eco-friendly products, carry a reusable water bottle, and swap plastic utensils for sustainable alternatives. Small changes lead to a cleaner, greener Gary. Your city, your future. Let's keep it clean.
Works and Safety meeting for the City of Gary for February 26, 2025. Let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. To confirm that we have a legal meeting, may we have roll call for attendance, quorum?
Member Green? Member Allen?
Present.
Secretary Morgan? Vice President Dumas? President Suggs?
Present.
Mr. President, there are 4 present and 1 absent.
With 4 members here, we have a legal meeting. We can conduct the business of the Board of Public Works and Safety. At this point, item number 3 on our agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes for our February 19th meeting.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion on the floor and it has been properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Meetings have been approved.
Mr. President, I need to make a motion to amend our agenda.
Yes, please.
We need to amend the agenda to add the MOU regarding Buffington Harbor Drive improvements and dedication and acceptance of the public right-of-way. So I move that we amend our agenda to add that.
There's a motion on the floor to add the Buffington Harbor MOU. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the motion to amend the agenda to add the MOU for Buffington Harbor has been approved. Now we can go on to item number 4 on our agenda, claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims to be paid February 28, 2025. General fund is $312,799.71. Special revenue is more with the Highway Park Department Health Human Services Grant, Vehicle Auction, Community Development Grant, Law Enforcement Grant, Police Donation, Warming and Cooling Center, Green Revenue Grant, Midwest Insurance, TIF, and Workers' Comp and Unemployment, $138,287.16. Ambulance non-reverting, Public Safety Income Tax, Neighborhood Stabilization Grant, ARPA grant redevelopment now reverting fund Market Park is $68,428.31. Total to be paid on February 28th is $519,515.17.
There's a motion on the floor to approve claims payable February 28th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green, Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the claims to be payable February 28th have been approved.
We also have before us ratification of claims for general fund and public safety income tax of $5,412.37.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the payment of ratification of claims. Is there a motion on the floor, second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this? No discussion on this item. May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, ratification of claims has been approved.
And we have ratification of payroll and pension. And fire and police pension, $5,484.26. And for payroll, $2,280,840.23.
There's a motion to approve the ratification of payroll and pension. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this item? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green. Yes. Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the ratification of payroll and pension has been approved. Thank you. Let's move to item number 5, correspondence and agreement.
Mr. President, we have correspondence from the Public Works Department for disabled parking signs renewal. The following residents have presented applications for renewal for disabled parking signs. The addresses are 4253 Maryland Street and 448 McKinley Street. All submitted documentation has been verified and required fees will be paid upon approval. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to accept the parking sign renewal for residential handicap signs at the following locations.
Motion on the floor to approve the renewal of residential handicap parking signs for 4253 Maryland Street and 448 McKinley Street. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green. Yes. Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the approval of renewal signs for 4253 Maryland, 4448 McKinley Street have been approved.
That concludes correspondence from the Public Works Department.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. President, we have correspondence from the Law Department. First is a professional services contract with CRIST Reporting Service. Now it's for court reporter just for the Gary Fire Civil Service Commission. And there's an error in the contract. It's for the 2025 on an as-needed basis. The city agrees to pay the court reporters an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the term of the contract at the rate of $125 per hour for a 2.5-hour minimum. And transcripts will be provided at the rate of $7.25 per page. If expedited services needed, the contractor can require an upcharge for when things need a faster turnaround time. So with that, I move that we approve the contract with CRIST Reporting Services for court reporter services for the Fire Civil Service Commission for 2025, an amount not to exceed $10,000.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the professional services of Chris Reporting Services for the service of Gary Fire Civil Service Commission, recording not to exceed, pay not to exceed $10,000. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may I have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the professional service contract for Chris Reporting Services not to exceed $10,000 has been approved.
So next, Mr. President, we have the third amendment to the lease for 6200 Industrial Highway. The amendments are as follows. The due diligence period will be extended to March 31st, 2025. And the closing date, should the party desire to close on this property, the closing date would be 30 days after the date the tenant exercises option to purchase the premises in accordance with Section 6. So other than that, the terms remain the same. So with that, I move that we approve this third amendment to the lease for 6200 Industrial Highway.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the third amendment to the lease for 6200 Industrial Highway here in Lake County, Gary, Indiana. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the third amendment to the lease has been approved.
Okay, the next item, Mr. President, is an easement modification for essentially that same area. And I'm just gonna read the key parts of this document. Whereas there exists a certain easement agreement called the original easement agreement by and between Majestic Star Casino LLC and Indiana Limited Liability Company, which is a successor interest to Gary New Century LLC, and the city of Gary, that was made April 15, 2009, and recorded on May 6, 2009, and was extended, had an extension of term that was recorded on July 10, 2013, and revised later in 2017. This agreement would modify that. So whereas the easement agreement established and granted certain easements for the construction of the Marina Access Road, as well as other necessary easements, all of which are more particularly described in the easement agreement, GNC deeded the GNC property to Majestic Land Trust on February 9, 2004. And there's a lot of description of how we got to this. I won't read all that into the record, but it's available if anybody wants to see it. The easement agreement further provides that in the event of an automatic termination, a release/discharge will be executed or recorded, whereas the board has not commenced construction of the aforementioned easement areas and has decided not to proceed and otherwise abandon the project, which was that Marina Road project. That the board desires to terminate the easement agreement in its entirety as it relates to the property legally described in Exhibit A1 and depicted in Exhibit A2, which is attached to hereto and made part of this release. So essentially, previous administrations had agreed to construct some road improvements over there that never happened, and easements were created in order to enable the construction of that road. So what we're doing now is agreeing with the now property owner that all the easements that were contemplated before are extinguished and released. So with that, I move that we approve the partial release and discharge of the easement.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the release of the easement at Buffington Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green? Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the easement at Buffalo Harbor has been approved.
Okay, so next, Mr. President, we have an MOU that we amended the agenda to add to this agenda. So it's a MOU, it's a memorandum of understanding regarding Buffington Harbor Drive improvements and dedication and acceptance of public right-of-way. So this MOU is between the city, our Board of Public Works, and TP Gary 4 LLC, TP Gary 5 LLC, whereas TP Gary, that entity is going to make roadway improvements within the city right of way for the installation, operation, repair, and maintenance, and replacement of Buffington Harbor Drive. Once those improvements are completed and inspected and you pass muster, then the city is going to take over and resume the ownership, control, and maintenance of that road. So I draw your attention to page 4, paragraph 3, city's obligations. Upon receipt of TP Gary 4's notice of completion of roadway improvements, the city shall inspect roadway improvements to confirm the roadway improvements comply with the applicable standards, and if any deficiencies are identified, TP Gary 5 will be responsible for correcting such deficiencies prior to dedication. And as a condition of the city's acceptance, all in accordance with applicable city codes and regulations, upon satisfactory completion of the roadway improvements, correction of any deficiencies, the city shall accept the dedicated roadway and all associated public improvements, all in accordance with its MOU and applicable laws and regulations of the City of Gary and State of Indiana pertaining to the dedication and acceptance of land improvements. So that's it in a nutshell. So with that, I move that we approve this memorandum of understanding regarding Buffington Harbor Drive improvements, which will mean the city ultimately will take that road over once the agreed upon improvements are made.
There's a motion on the floor to approve MOU between TP Gary 5 and the City of Gary for Buffington Harbor improvements. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
Been moved and second. Any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may I have a roll call for approval, please?
Member Green. Yes. Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the MOU between the City of Gary and TP Gary 5 has been approved.
Okay. Next, Mr. President, we have a property transfer, and it's being done by resolution. So this is a resolution of the City of Gary Board of Public Works to transfer the parcel located at 6200 Industrial Highway to the city's redevelopment commission. And so with this, the redevelopment commission will adopt a substantially similar resolution. There'll be a quitclaim deed executed, and this authorizes you as the president to sign that quitclaim deed over to the city's department, it's redevelopment commission. So with that, I move that we approve this resolution enabling you as the president of the board to execute a deed transferring the parcel to the redevelopment commission.
There's a motion on the floor to transfer the deed for 6200 Industrial Highway from the City of Gary to the redevelopment department. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green. Yes. Member Allen.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the deed for the property at 6200 Industrial Highway will be transferred from the City of Gary to the Redevelopment Commission of the City of Gary.
Okay. So next, Mr. President, we have requests for rights of entry 4 properties within the city. And we're doing that by resolution, and there's an attached form. In a nutshell, I'm gonna go over the one for 469 Broadway and then explain why we're not doing the others. So this resolution is approving consent agreements for access to property. Whereas the city is a municipal corporation, we're actively working to eliminate blight within the city. And whereas as part of the city's blight elimination program, the city finds it necessary to grant contractors, subcontractors, and agents access to certain properties for purposes of inspection, abatement, reinspection, and remediation up to including demolition, removal, and disposal of blighted structures and on said properties. Where the city has received a request for right of entry to the below listed properties which are owned by the Board of Public Works, and the city by its Board of Public Works desires to grant access and a right of entry to the below listed properties to the Aegis Group, so the Aegis personnel partners and subcontractors can enter onto the property to do the inspection, abatements, reinspection, up to including demolition and removal of the debris. So the address is being requested from the Board of Works is 469 to 79 Broadway, parcel number 45-08-3-153-003.0000004. And therefore, the Board of Works, by approving this, would grant that access to Aegis Group. And there's more detailed information on the form that's attached. And this access will begin today and last until the end of the year. So I move that we approve this resolution to grant Aegis access to the property listed, which is 469 to 79 Broadway.
There's a motion on the floor to grant access for contractor Aegis Group to conduct assessment dealing with demolition for 469 through 79 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the resolution to grant access to contractor for demolition, abatement, and inspection has been approved.
Mr. President, with regard to the other requested rights of entry, the city by its Board of Works does not own any other parcel on that list. So therefore, we can't grant entry to things we don't own. So that concludes communication from the law department.
Thank you. Any other correspondence and agreements for this board? Let's move on to item number 6, unfinished business. Any unfinished business for the board? Item 7, new business. Want to confirm, do we have any public comment in queue? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, on the agenda we have under new business, we had correspondence from community development, which includes a demolition agreement, well, actually a couple demolition agreements.
Okay.
And a bid opening.
All right, let's go back to new business. Community development.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we got 3 contracts from community development. The representative want to just come up and give an overview for the 3 vendors, or should we just dig into the agreement? Okay. So first we have a demolition agreement with Richardson Disposal. The contractor agrees to finish all labor, equipment, materials necessary to demolish and clear the properties located at 1948 through 54 Massachusetts Street, 1935 Massachusetts Street, 1916 Massachusetts Street, 1976 Massachusetts, 1817 Delaware Street, 1805 Delaware Street, 1617 Delaware Street, 1611 Delaware Street, 1605, 1539, 1948 Delaware Street. We have work must commence within 10 days receiving a notice to proceed, completed no later than December 31st, 2025, for a total not to exceed amount of $169,100. Okay. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the demolition agreement between the city and Richardson Disposal.
Second.
It's a motion on the floor and has been properly second to approve the demolition agreement with the city of Gary and Richardson Disposal for properties that were quoted on Massachusetts Street and Delaware Street. Any discussion on the motion?
Yes, is this a ratification? All the dates say 2024. Yes.
Any further discussion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green? Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the demolition agreement between the city of Gary and Richardson Disposal has been approved.
I'm sorry, we need to add, did we get the QC? I'm working on her agreement, but she's working on it. It will be pending.
Pending the arrival of the QC.
And that applies for all of them then?
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna read the next set,
Yep.
please.
So next we have demolition agreement between the city and C. Lee Construction Services. These are for the addresses of 1976 Connecticut Street, 1981, and 2247 Broadway Street. For a total not to exceed amount of $99,952. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the ratification for the demolition services between the city and C. Lee, not to exceed $99,952, contingent upon receiving the QC-40.
So motion on the floor for the approval of a demolition agreement with the city of Gary and C. Lee Construction not to exceed $99,000 for 1981 Broadway, 2247 Broadway, and 1976 Connecticut. And we have a second. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the contract for the city of Gary and C. Lee Construction Service to demolish properties at 1976 Connecticut, 1981 Broadway, and 2247 Broadway have been approved.
Next, we have a demolition agreement between the city and Avatar Enterprises for the following addresses, all located on Virginia Street. So we have 1608, 1604, 1720 Virginia Street, for a not to exceed amount of $65,000. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the ratification for Avatar Enterprises demolition services for a not to exceed amount of $65,000, contingent upon receiving QC-40.
There's a motion on the floor to accept the demolition agreement with Avatar Enterprise, the city of Gary for 1608 Virginia, 1604 Virginia, and 1720 Virginia, pending the receipt of the QC-40 document. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this matter?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
The last page of this contract, which was dated 2/25/25, indicates that there additional specifications required for the demolition for 3 properties. And I'm wondering, is that figure included in the 65,000? Because the contract's dated December, but this letter is dated February.
Yeah. Mr. Kirkendall, will you kind of give us a background on that matter, please, if you come up to the mic? Push that right button, yes. On the right, yes, sir.
Okay, so the issue is the properties have been bid out a few months ago, but with the scope of work that's going to have to take place now, all of the buildings have to be hauled away as contaminated waste. So that's the reason for the bid openings for the asbestos abatement contractor, and they'll have to have an inspector on site for the duration of demolition. So the properties can't be hauled away as regular waste. It has to go to Newton County as contaminated waste. So there's a change order in the prices.
Okay. So this price that is separate listed from 225, this is additional?
That's additional, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, is it, I'm trying to understand the change order, because the change order cannot exceed 20% of the original bid price?
Okay.
So is it lower than 20% of the original price?
I don't know.
But if it's more, we cannot do it by change order.
So what needs to happen?
I don't know, because this is not my project, and nobody asked the law department anything, so somebody's going to have to figure it out.
And they're still working on this? These properties, Virginia?
They haven't started yet.
Okay. So the contract then is expired. This contract expires on December 31st, 2024. So we need a new contract altogether.
Well, best suggestion I have is we have a blight elimination meeting in an hour or two. So things like this need to be brought up so we can work through the problems, you know. But again, I think it's just real basic that change order cannot exceed 20% of the contract price. That's just something that everybody should know who works in City Hall.
But all the other ones, the one we just approved for Connecticut and Broadway, that one is complete? Okay, so all of these are expired.
So, I thought it was just a typo when I saw the 2024.
That's why I asked the question.
Right. So, is the intent to demolish before 2020, by the end of 2025?
Yes.
So, that can be changed. Do the other ones also have extra work?
Yes.
This Sealy, Richardson? Oh, okay.
That's 117,000. The change order is 170,000. For Richardson. And the contract is 169, so we need to add 117 to that.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple different things that we can do, but we can have a discussion about it like afterwards to find out which one is best and most feasible. But I guess now we approved 2 already.
Sealy and Richardson.
Yeah, and they can't really move forward without doing the asbestos abatement for all the properties. They can't do the demolition work, so.
There's no abatement. Yeah.
There wouldn't be any abatement because
The entire project is contaminated, so they will take it all.
and the asbestos contractors can't gain entry due to the condition, so that's why they're hauling everything away as contaminated waste.
We're probably gonna have to.
Again, we have a meeting at, what time is that meeting today? Okay, we have to talk.
Just what's the process for the two that we approved to? Can we rescind the approvals?
Yeah, I'm gonna add one more thing to the record. Okay, so according to OSHA regulations, the reference level for asbestos exposure in the workplace is 0.01 fibers per cubic centimeter of air as an 8-hour time weighted average. We need to look at the reference level of asbestos for this property, because if it's under the reference level, like say you got a cubic yard of waste from this place, if it's under the reference level, then it's not toxic waste. If it's over the reference level, then it is. I would like to see some paperwork that establishes what the level is, what was tested at this property. We got to see the test results. Because the cost to dump an entire building as toxic waste is exorbitant. But again, need to see that paperwork.
So it's in the record, so let's move on with the rescinding of these approvals.
Yep.
And then we can confirm path forward at the demolition blight removal meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to rescind, a motion for approval for the demolition agreements between the city and Richardson Disposal, Sealy, and to well, also Avatar Enterprises.
We didn't approve that, so.
We didn't?
No.
Avatar, okay.
Just
well, then to defer that until the next meeting.
Sealy and Richardson.
Okay.
Second, as to Sealy and Richardson.
Yeah, it's been moved and properly second to rescind the approvals for the construction project with Sealy Construction and Richardson Construction in the city of Gary. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call for approval, please.
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 in favor and 0 against, the approvals for the demolition project between Richardson Disposal and Sealy Construction have been rescinded.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we table the items on the agenda as follows: demolition agreement between Richardson Disposal, Sealy, and Avatar Enterprises until our following meeting.
It's a motion on the floor to table the demolition agreements between Sealy, Avatar, and Richardson Disposal. Is there a second? Been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the motion carries. The items have been tabled.
Mr. President, next on the agenda, we have a bid opening. We have for the project, quotes for the Midtown demolition project. First is from Northwest Indiana Environmental, located at 660 Morningside Drive, Crown Point, Indiana. Following quotation for the Midtown demolition project. Accredited Indiana asbestos inspector on site during demolition activities is $900 per day. Preparing and lining dumpsters, hauling trailers for transport, $250 per dumpster or haul trailer. And again, that is for Northwest Indiana Environmental, so hourly or daily rates. Okay. Next is from Safe Environmental Corp., located at 1006 165th Street, Hammond, Indiana. Okay, we have, proposal for on-site licensed competent person, pre-demo survey and clearance reports for 13 residential structures in Gary. We have 1976 Connecticut Street, 1948 through 54 Massachusetts, 1935, 1976 Massachusetts, 1604, 1720 Virginia Street, 1817. These are all on Delaware Street, so 1817, 1805, 1617, 1605, 1611, 1539, 1948 Delaware Street. Our rate for line trucks, dumpsters, is a daily rate of $1,325. Our rate for pre-demo survey is $600 per house, and clearance is $500 per house. Item notification fee is $150 per house. There are 13 houses at $1,250 per house for the survey, clearance, and notification fee. That would be a total of $16,250. Survey clearance will be provided by a third party, Americo Engineering. Okay, so what was opened up will be, copies will be given to the appropriate departments for recommendation at our next Board of Works meeting.
So just for the record and clarification, those properties that we received those bids are the properties that we just tabled.
Correct.
So we can accept the bids, but we can't have action on it until after we find the path forward for the properties. So are they dated as far as that bid? Is there
This is a February 21st date for this year.
a date that the bids aren't good till?
It's not stated on the environmental one.
Okay.
And I do not see an expiration date on the second one either.
Okay, so we can accept them.
Okay, motion to accept the prices opened up before the board today.
Motion on the floor, may I have a second? Any discussion on the bid acceptance? Hearing none, roll call for approval, please.
Member Green? Yes. Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the bid demolition demolition bids have been approved. Sorry.
Mr. President, that concludes business under new business.
Thank you. Just reaffirming, anyone listed for public comment online?
No, no one is listed.
Thank you. I'm seeing the sheet here. It doesn't seem that there were any sign-ups for public comment. Is there anyone in the room that would like to make comment before the board? Seeing no comments, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.